Life is fragile, and you and I are here to nourish and protect it. Pollution is the nemesis we all fight in the script we call life. Pollution is a global problem, and slowly but surely the whole world is realizing we have a common enemy. Technologies and cleanup standards are constantly changing, and working together is more important now than ever before. In 2018, the EnviroWorkshops speakers are traveling the globe from New York to San Francisco to Sydney and Shanghai and many, many other cities to educate you on the latest soil, groundwater, and air technologies in the industry.
Hi, welcome to the Remediation Workshop series of this year. My name is Travis Bowman, and I founded these workshops 5 years ago. We've hosted several hundred in cities all over the globe on 4 different continents, and over 12,000 people have registered for a workshop. This year we have new sponsors and new technologies, and you'll be hearing on technologies for ex situ and in situ, for bioremediation, for some microbial tools, site characterization, even some drone technologies will be presented at our workshops this year. Well, here's a little bit more about our sponsors who is really paying for our training today. ESC Labs, they're a platinum sponsor, and they've been a founding sponsor from the beginning. Here's a little bit more about who they are.
In 2018, we're going to be talking to you about some of the most innovative technologies on the environmental laboratory market today. We're going to be talking about single vial methanol 5035 sample collection for volatiles. We're going to be talking about perfluorinated compounds. ESC is now a subsidiary of Pace Analytical. We are together the largest American-owned environmental laboratory company. We can work with you on whatever needs you have. We are a one-stop shop, whether it be traditional analyses with soil and groundwater, vapor intrusion with soil gas and indoor ambient air, specialty testing like the perfluorinated and other tests.
I think the most unique thing about ESC Lab Sciences is our single location concept. All of the work that we do across all 50 states in the United States, certified in every jurisdiction in the U.S., is done from our single location in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. It's one of the largest capacity locations, laboratories that is devoted entirely to environmental analytical work in the United States. With that, we are able to better control service, control quality, control the product that we're delivering to our clients.
We're looking forward to coming to your city, talking with you at these workshops, working with you after the workshops on your projects, and solving whatever challenges together with you. 2018 is going to be really exciting.
Microbialinsights is a global and a platinum sponsor.
So even though Microbialinsights is a small woman-owned business, and we've been around for over 26 years, we are really known around the world to be doing molecular analysis. Now we work in over 40 different countries, every state in the United States, and it's our goal to provide actionable data to site managers so they can look at the bacterial populations present at the site, figure out who's there, if they're stimulating them correctly, whatever the corrective action plan may be, whether it's monitored natural attenuation or biostimulation, whatever it may be, looking at those microorganisms that are doing that degradation, seeing do we have the right ones there, and do we have a sufficient quantity to achieve our goals in a desirable time frame. So to really get that third line of evidence that can be actionable for that site manager to make changes at that site. So last year we brought on a new analysis called Compound-Specific Isotope Analysis, or CSIA, and it's rather than just looking at the bacteria, we can also look at how the compound itself changes, so how the carbon or the hydrogen isotopes change as a compound is biodegrading. So it can be definitive proof that biodegradation of the compound happened. It's a nice complement to what we understand with the bacteria.
Pine Environmental is a platinum sponsor across the U.S. and in Canada.
I saw an overwhelming need in the market space where customers were looking for equipment. They wanted quality equipment. They wanted someone they can trust. And I kind of saw that early on. And so I approached my brother Roger, and the two embarked in 1995 into into where we are today.
Now, this company is an integrated network of 36 offices that are working closely together to serve not only larger customers that might have multiple locations and sites that they're working out, but also really where this company had its start and continues to grow is at that local level, where we're providing local product availability together with delivery capability because we run our own fleet, as well as that technical assistance that a lot of our customers need to have those, if you will, resident experts support them on.
Our guys are constantly going to manufacturers throughout the year to be fully trained, fully certified, so that when we send a piece of equipment out the door, we're confident that the customer is getting what they're paying for. So on a yearly basis, we've averaged about $8.1 million in new equipment. We own about 60,000 pieces of equipment. We own about over 150 different types of equipment, right? When we send a piece of equipment out the door, we're confident that the customer is getting what they're paying for. And that's quality equipment, ready to work the first time they touch it. We still have our very first customer. That customer trusted us in 1995 and has been a customer and a great customer for the last 22 years.
Ivy International is a global and a U.S. platinum sponsor.
My background, for those that don't know, actually is synthetic organic chemistry, and then I did continuing studies in geological engineering and I have a master's in project management. So understanding chemistry, geology, and engineering gives me a very broad way of looking at things. So when contaminants don't dissolve, they stick to the soil, called sorption. So if you can desorb them, you make them more available for physical extraction, above ground soil washing, or improving like hydraulic extraction and pump and treatment. You also can improve things like bioremediation, because the bacteria can't desorb them very well. By desorbing them in the pore space, the bacteria have access to them to increase bioavailability. And there's also people out there doing chemical oxidation reduction and a bunch of other applications where by desorbing you actually make it more available to those chemical reactions, improve the reaction kinetics and the results. So interesting thing for us is not only did I want to overcome absorption to improve availability, but I can actually enhance a lot of those physical, chemical, and biological processes. It actually allows the oxidant reducing agent to really target what it's good at getting. And then we find that 1 + 1 = 3, and we've been having a lot of fun pairing up and working with other technologies. I'll finish with saying, I often say in my talks that if the environmental movement is like a flu, the whole world's got the cold. So things are really coming around and it's going in a really good place. So there's hope.
EcoCamp is a new global sponsor.
The world we live in is complicated. Measuring and analyzing data is the best way to get a grip on it. And considering the climate is changing, getting a grip is more relevant than ever. Royal EcoCamp develops the solutions and works with you implementing those solutions, delivering the hardware, installing the equipment, setting up the software, and enabling the data acquisition. Work with us. We share knowledge, we advise, and we deliver all over the world. Royal EcoCamp. Meet the difference.
Columbia Technologies is a new gold sponsor this year.
So I'll be speaking at a lot of the workshops this year on high-resolution site characterization. It's a term that's getting a lot of traction and a lot of confusion and misuse. High-resolution site characterization is about technologies, and there's a lot of good sensors and technologies that work out there. It's also about the approach, or how do you use the approach in looking at your sites in order to improve the data quality that you have. And then it's how do you move that information to the right decision makers, whether they be locally or around the globe. Our industry spends over $1 billion a day in site assessment and remediation, and it's doing that often with data that's inaccurate, incomplete, and very time late to the problem. So what that does is to our consulting community is it leaves them with a big gap and uncertainty in their data, and therefore affects the outcomes of their remediation systems. So our goal is to bring better information, more accurate in real time and in higher resolution to those projects to allow them to make better decisions quicker, cutting costs, cutting uncertainty, and improving their outcomes.
Remington Technologies is a new gold sponsor this year.
So this year I'm speaking at a number of workshops, but one of the things I'd like to get out there in general is the concept of COGAC, which is chemically oxygenated granular activated carbon. The goal was to create a material that can maximize the ISCO event followed by a biostimulation event. So when we get adsorption and desorption from the soil after the ISCO event, then we're really looking at having something in place to mitigate the rebound that's typically seen in just a pure oxidation environment.
Vista GeoScience is a new gold sponsor this year.
I started Vista GeoScience doing trace soil gas analysis for oil and gas exploration in 1986. We have always been on the innovative edge. We were the first in our region to deploy GeoProbe direct push technology and built our own mobile laboratories to conduct expedited site investigations. We now operate a fleet of GeoProbe direct push and auger rigs, the latest in high-resolution site characterization tools, and a fleet of unique in-situ injection rigs and tooling that can handle any type of remediation reagents. I think the biggest advantage we provide to our consultant clients is that we work with them as team partner with the same end goals of cleaning up the site.
We also have several silver sponsors this year. EOS was founded in 2002 and they hold one of the original patents for emulsified oil substrate. ASC Tech Services is a silver sponsor and they were founded over 20 years ago and they offer high-resolution site characterization along the West Coast and in the Midwest and down into Texas. And Terra Systems is a silver sponsor and they pioneered enhanced in-situ bioremediation technology starting with aerobic bioremediation in the 1970s.
Well, we also have some bronze sponsors. You can check them out on our website or in our programs. And speaking of our programs, make sure you're taking notes as you're listening to each speaker today, and we've got a spot for you to take notes, and there's the bio of each speaker. But take these home or put them on your shelf in your office, and remember what you learned today at our workshop. Well, I also want to mention the associations we work with on a national level. HMP, AEG, AIPG, and SAMI are some national ones. There's a number of other ones which I don't have time to mention, but it's great working with each of the associations as we come from city to city. So have a great workshop, and I'll see you the next time we're in town.